I do feel that you don't want to be stuck in it anymore. And if you have been in a situation where you feel as if your hands are literally tied and you can't do anything about it, this is the time frame in which I feel that, you're taking charge of your life. You're starting to come into a very strong sense of self-confidence, and also realizing that you deserve a lot more. So a lot of you might start new relationships that make you feel really good. It's like a self-esteem boosting type of relationship. Or you can be, around very positive people who reinforces you or who compliment you in a way where you are starting to believe that, I actually have a lot of strengths and assets, and I have a lot to offer. So a lot of you are coming into this sense of empowerment, mainly because the positive relationships and friendships that you have around you are reinforcing and building you up rather than breaking you down. So I definitely feel a lot of you are in positive friendships and relationships coming in the first quarter. Or if you haven't had that, then I definitely feel that you're starting to come into your own sense of empowerment, and you're no longer playing the victim, and you're not going to sit by passively on the sidelines of life, waiting for life to pass you by. You're going to grab life by the horns and just going with it. So while there is a lot of mental energy coming through from other people, the negative people, I definitely feel you are going to overcome it and you are going to be very victorious, okay? So I definitely sense that the second quarter begins with the whole process of cleansing. This is like cleaning up your house. Whoever that has left your life, left your home environment, you're basically, taking over their space. If someone has lived with you and they recently decided to move out, you're not going to cry over spilled milk. What you will do is transform their former bedroom into a studio where you can, dance and sing, or, do some artwork. So I definitely feel, this whole energy about taking charge of your life and not letting the other person, not feeling hopeless because the other person is not there, not feeling hopeless as if you need another person in your life for companionship, or even, as a safety blanket or a security net or something like that. And you're okay with just, being very, very confident and capable and just very happy on your own. Now, coming in the second half of this second quarter, so this is going to be, let me see, around June, July, you are exuding a very strong sense of magnetism. And I do feel that for a lot of you, you might not be ready yet to date again. You might not be ready just yet. But I definitely feel that you're in a position where you are attracting somebody who's very strong-minded into your life. Okay, so depending on whatever gender you're interested in or you are dating, I definitely feel that there is somebody out there, and this person is really, really beautiful, but in like a, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and it's going to, people have different tastes. But I do feel that there is something about this person that is coming through. It's sort of like they are very, very capable and competent, but they never like they don't shine the spotlight on themselves. They don't sit there and brag to you about their credentials, about their intelligence, about their capabilities, about how much wealth and, money they have. This is somebody who's very understated. And I do feel that, they just come in, and the first few times of meeting them or running into them, you don't really have that strong of a connection. But then over time, you look at them from afar and you realize that, wow, this person is really beautiful. So there's this very understated charm, magic. There is a sense of magic about this person, and they're irresistible. I do feel that for a lot of you, You're dating outside of your cultural or ethnic group. I do feel for a lot of you, this person is going to be somebody that is very different from you. So, for example, if you have like blonde hair, this person has black hair. If you have dark skin, they have very light skin. So there's this sense of contrast between you and this other person, or within the other person, there is something very, very beautiful about them. And that is kind of extraordinary. I feel like this is somebody that doesn't look like a generic, person. They feel very strong, and they just come across as somebody who has a lot of inner strength, but who is just really attractive in your eyes, okay? And I feel that there's this sense of flirtation. Both parties skirting around the issue, there is definitely mutual attraction, but it seems like maybe because it's the different, the cultural ethnic divide, where you might not feel that you know who they're interested in, they likewise might not feel as if they know who you're interested in. So there's a great deal to be said about you both skirting the issue, okay? So this is a very good person. I do feel it is a very strong earth sign or an air sign. So the first energy that comes up to me is this is an air sign. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. The second energy coming through is possibly Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And I do feel a very strong air sign. And I do feel very strong physical attraction, and also admiration for this person, because they are very very sharp, very intelligent as well. And there's just they're not classically like beautiful, even though once again it's going to be different depending on your taste. But I do feel there's just something about them that you can't help but look at them twice, and over the times that you come in contact with them, you're just kind of swept off your feet and you don't really know what hit you. So it's a really beautiful energy. Additionally, I do feel that for a lot of you, there might be a situation where a lot of you might be seeking counsel, like legal counsel, in order to divide up some assets. So this could come about by an inheritance. It could come through as a family member passing away, leaving you something like a property or something like that. Or it can just be, taking a trip. I do feel taking a brand new trip, signing contract for a new work environment. There's some kind of a hold up coming through, and things will resolve themselves. But I definitely, something is keeping you in your current location because of this other person that is breaking into the picture to be with you, okay? So I feel that once again, the whole, skirting around the issue with this other person, that is something that is going to get dragged on. So make the first move, take that initiative to get to know this person and to solidify something with this person, because I feel that the attraction is so great that it would be wasteful if you miss out on this opportunity. And they are a great person. So I'm going to say that you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. You have 4 court cards that show up in your spread in general. And all the people showing up in your spread are in the upright position, which indicates to me that because of your open-hearted and honest and emotionally nurturing nature that you're bringing into your social interactions, the people around you are very receptive towards you, and they themselves are starting to open up when you're around. They want to bring their best foot forward whenever they interact with you. They also want to be that shoulder for you to lean on. So if you ever need a friend, if you ever need somebody to help you with anything, I definitely feel this is a great year in which you are going to encounter very strong, capable, confident, competent people who will be, who will just give you very good advice, who will be there for you if you need them. So this is a very good year in which all your good deeds, when it comes to nurturing and taking care of other people, are coming back to you, so that karma is being returned to you. And you're going to be in good hands, okay? It's a great year to date, honestly, Pisces. I do feel you're going to be quite happy on the dating front, and you're appearing as somebody who's very nurturing, and other people want to be with you. And in the past, I feel like you were projecting this energy, and for some reason, you were attracting a lot of broken people. This is a major shift in energies for this year, in which you're starting to do a lot of healing work on yourself. You're starting to draw a lot, like your line in the sand. You're setting up boundaries. You're defending your boundaries. And as a result, you are only attracting high quality, high vibrational people into your life for this year, which is a very, very good thing. And I'm so glad to see this for you, because the year is panning out in a very meticulously karmic way, in a good way. So, having said that, I definitely feel that, once again, don't be afraid to take that relationship to the next level, or to ask that person if they're interested in being with you, because I do feel that you are attracting very good, stable people into your life for this year. Okay. Coming in for the third quarter of this year, I definitely feel that it is very work, finance, status conscious. Okay. Be very, very careful when it comes to, I guess, like, spending way too much time with your significant other and not taking care of practical responsibilities. Okay. So for the third quarter, I definitely feel that there are time constraints coming through. So at the beginning of the year, if you had some ideas that you want to bring to fruition, this is a very good time to manifest. This is a really good time for you to lay the groundwork when it comes to plans and projects. I definitely feel there are many, many late nights coming in, mainly because in the daytime you might potentially, be with your significant other. You might be spending time with your friends. You might even help out your significant other. I do feel that you're happily and you're willingly helping them out, but it is also detracting you from doing your own work. Okay, so just be very careful. I don't feel that it's a codependent type of environment, because you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart, and they also could use the help. But at the same time, just be very careful when it comes to taking care of your own responsibilities on a practical level, and don't let those things pile up, because then you will feel very discouraged. So for example, letting the dishes pile up to the point where all the dishes are dirty and the sink is a mess, and you don't feel like cleaning up or washing the dishes. Okay, so don't let things get to that point. I also feel that for a lot of you, there might be a long distance relationship that you are in. If you are at all dating a fire sign, especially coming through for the third quarter, so this is going to be the August September time period, especially August, that time period, I definitely feel that if there is a long distance relationship, there are definitely time constraints coming through, where you're traveling back and forth. The other person might also be traveling back and forth, and you feel that, I really care about this person, but maybe this is not worth it. For a lot of you, this could be a commute, a very long commute towards the work environment, and you're realizing that, I'm a little bit burned out. It's taking a lot away from, my quality of life. So I might need to find employment opportunities that are closer to home, or I might need to change my physical home location to be kind of halfway in between my job and my work, or my home, my job and my home. Or I might want to relocate between my job and my significant other, or, some type of combination thereof. It's like your job, your current home, and your lover. So this is something that you're trying to work out, because you feel that this person potentially that you've met in the second quarter of the year is very worthwhile, and the relationship is worth exploring. It's something that you really want to build on, and you really want to bring with you into the future. I'm going to say as well that You know, the as with all relationships, the first 3 months is pretty much the honeymoon stage. And then things sort of, life catches up with us. The real world responsibilities catch up with us, and we might not be as diligent about showing our partner that we really love them and showing our appreciation and things like that. So don't let your relationship fall on the wayside. And I do feel that there are a few people, I do sense a few people either vying for, I feel like the other people are vying for their affection. Okay, whoever it is that you're dating, there is if you've been neglecting them, I definitely feel there are people vying for their attention, which can create temptations. So something to keep in mind. I do feel that it's something important for you to keep in mind coming in the third quarter. And truthful communication is going to be the major challenge coming through. But overall, I do feel that you're going to be in a happy place, and there's going to be as well a lot of success on the financial front coming through for you. So whatever move you're implementing is going to be very fruitful. Now, coming in the third quarter, or excuse me, the fourth quarter of the year. This is October, November, December, and also a little bit of half of September as well. What I do feel is there might be some arguments, disputes with family members, especially pertaining children. It can deal with child rearing practices, ways of raising a child, the things that you will or will not allow a child to do. So these things are coming in for reexamination, and for a lot of you, if you are divorced and you are no longer living with your the father or the mother of your children or your child, I definitely feel that a lot of responsibilities are coming through when it comes to busing the child back and forth between two homes. Or it can be a situation in which you and the father or the mother of your child, who, if you have been separated or if you are still living together, there's definitely some type of disagreements when it comes to child rearing practices. And this is something that you have to resolve within your own household, because the household, the childhood conditioning, and the household values and customs and things like that is something that is coming into the picture, and it's a very personal, individual basis. So if you were raised a certain way, you want your child to be raised a certain way. And I feel that going back to what I mentioned about, potentially being in a relationship with someone or being attracted to somebody who is of a very different cultural, ethnic group from you, I do feel these differences are starting to show up. And I don't feel that, these differences are because of cultural, religious, or even ethnic issues, or those are not the preconditions that are creating these problems. But I do feel that the cultural divide is a real thing, and it can bring with it opportunities for learning from one another, opportunities for compromise, and also enlightenment. So I definitely feel some eye-opening experience when it comes to family values, when it comes to child rearing, is coming into the picture, mainly because you and another person have a very different childhood conditioning and very different upbringing. So that is something coming through for re-examination. I also feel as well, for those of you specifically with fire sign children, I do sense that you're going to feel very loved, very appreciated, and I feel that you're going to get a very pleasant surprise this year. If you have like young fire sign children, it's sort of like, when they're young, and I don't know how parents do it, but there might be times when, you tell them something and the child is very young, especially this fire sign child. And fire signs are, by the way, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. So you might just be going through the motions and you're doing something with them, and you tell them something very profound, and you don't expect them to understand it. And then, this is the year in which they will say something, or they will make a remark about something that you said to them in the past. And it surprised you. It caught you off guard. or it catches you off guard and you're just like, I can't believe you remember that. I told you that when you were 2. But they do remember it, and they took heed, and they're living by your advice. So this is definitely somebody, if you have specifically fire sign children, they are going to surprise you. They are going to let you know that you are the role model and you are everything that they're looking for when it comes to family relationships, love relationships. They are putting you on a pedestal and they want to find somebody like you in order for them to like fully commit and have and to feel complete as a family unit. So they hold you in high regard is essentially what I'm saying. And those lessons that you try to teach them years ago, they still remember it and they still will pass that on to their own children. So you are going to be receiving very, very sweet, you're just going to have an amazing time if you have fire sign children. And I do feel that it's sort of like, all the karma, all the things that you try to do right and to be a good role model for your children. They do notice it, even though you're not aware of it. But over the years, seeing the way that you are, the way that you behave, the time that you spend by their bedside when you're off from work and you're so emotionally, mentally, physically exhausted and they're sick and you stay with them all through the night and you check up on them, they notice these things and they're just going to thank you for it. So I do feel this is a very blissful time of joy for and healing for a lot of you, where you're starting to realize that, you know what, I am a pretty darn good parent. And it's just a very, it warms your heart is what I'm sensing here. So it's a very good time for you as well as for other people to show your appreciation for family members and the things that family members are able to do for us in our times of darkness, in our times of need. Okay, so some type of a revisitation when it comes to family issues, when it comes to healing the family unit, is coming in for you for the last part of the year, for the last 4 months. And I definitely feel as well that for a lot of you who are planning a voyage, who are planning, a trip overseas, or even thinking about relocating for a major job situation, I definitely feel that's coming through around the time of October, November, and December. And December is the best time to implement this major move.